All right, so we're back out on Lake Guntersville again. You can quickly take a look in my rod box and see what I've been throwing a lot lately. Because I got 10XD, big 6 cents, 6XD, 10XD, 6XD, 6XD. A lot of cranking going on right now. I just love when they're biting it. It's something, you know, every year, pretty much all fishermen, they can't wait for the spawn to catch them sight fishing. They can't wait for them to get out deep to catch them cranking, or just, you know, big schools of fish. And then you can't wait for the fall to catch them on a frog or catch them schooling fish, whatever it is that you do. There's always those highlights of the year that you can't wait for. And so for me, literally cranking, deep cranking is one of my favorite things to do. I love spending time on the graphs, doing a lot of it. Gonna make the most out of the time I've got while the fish are still out deep. And actually, lucky for us at Guntersville, the fish stay out deep pretty much from, I've seen it go into into October. I've seen it go into October, where there's still schools you can catch them out deep. Now they get trickier to catch, and they're pretty beat up at that point. You can't really, sometimes you can catch big ones still doing it, but it's just a lot of fun. So for maybe end of April, middle April till September, October-ish, they're still gonna be out deep. So that's the one good thing about it. And yeah, we're gonna get started. Thanks everybody for watching the videos. We'll catch you guys here in just a second. God, that is a big one, ain't it?
Huh? You need a net.
God! I was not expecting that. Gagged on it.
Ew.
He gagged on it. Look at that worm. You can't even see it.
That's a 6, ain't it?
No, it's about 4.5. He's skinny as crap. Tubular, oh, tubazoid. I hope y'all can, oh, I got one right now, hang on. Dang, it felt big. It felt a lot bigger than that. Yep. Anyhow, we're just out here throwing a big worm. We're out on a river ledge and catching them nearly every cast. I got another one on right now. Oh, I got your line like crazy. Get.
Coco.
Not a bad one. As I was saying earlier, I caught one on the cast I was trying to do the talk, but it's super windy, blowing straight at us. I've got a new mic, but I don't know if the mic is even going to do any good with this wind. But we're just throwing a worm, mag trick worm, out on a Dirty Jigs stand-up head, mag stand-up head, and just dragging it back, catching them literally almost every cast. And yeah, it's slow and steady, but they're not biting a crankbait very good. And this thing is just a freaking bite getter. If you're trying to fish out deep, or you're learning to fish out deep, you want to make sure you've got this Magnum trick worm, because it's a bite getter for sure. It's just, I got a bite right now. That's the second time I've tried doing this talk. Get it, girl. Oh, baby. I want to get with you and take your picture. So that's the second time that's happened. Throw your big worm out there. Just bring it straight back. Reel up your slack. Drag, reel up your slack, drag, reel up your slack. And make sure you're feeling everything, because I know there's a sweet spot that's about 20 foot straight in front of the boat that's got shells on it, and I'm gonna get bit every time I get back in those shells. So you just want to pay attention to things like that, and you're going to get a lot of bites. And so just pay attention, especially when you're throwing something that drags on the bottom and you can feel it. I'm in those shells right now. Hang on, see if I can get another bite. They got lucky on that one. I think I've caught one like 4 casts in a row already. Another thing I'll say too is a lot of people have a tendency when you're fishing out deep, you know, when we were taught to fish in the bank, you kind of keep moving the whole time. Like you don't, unless you're fishing a dock or pitching, you know, maybe in some grass or at a, you know, a laydown or something, you don't really stop and make multiple casts or pitches. And so a lot of times people will come offshore and they'll see fish, or either they just know it's a good spot like a point or a brush pile or something, and they won't give it enough time. There's definitely a too long and a too short, but you gotta have to feel for, you know, what's going on. Like sometimes I'll pull up on a spot and make 5 casts, but I don't see anything. If I do that, I don't see anything on the graph. Like right now, there's stuff all over the graph, so I'm not going to leave right now, but just because I know that something is going on down there. Like I see the fish, we've got a couple bites, even if we didn't get bites though, just seeing all that action down there on the graph just makes me stay. And now sometimes they might not bite. You can throw a drop shot or a spoon or whatever you want to throw at them and they won't bite it, but especially when I see, you know, stuff like that on the graph going on, I'm definitely going to spend a little bit more time. So another thing too, just if we're talking about tips for fishing offshore, just don't get in the habit of wanting to burn the bank and come out here offshore and think you can just make a couple casts on it and roll on out, because sometimes it takes them a couple, you know, 10 or 15 casts before you get a bite. But once you get that bite, you could catch 15 or 20 in a row every other cast. So take your time, be patient, use your electronics, use your brain. You see fish come up schooling, or you see a bait get chased up to the top, there's stuff going on. You just keep adjusting, you know, change your baits, change your colors. You'll get it. You'll get it. So y'all saw in my last video that I was using that Buckeye Magnum, whatever, I don't even know what it's called, Magnum spot remover or something. It's a pretty good head. It's got a good hook in it. The hook, it's kind of flexes a little bit more than I like. It's pretty good. I mean, I like the screw lock in it. It's not a bad one, but my favorite one is the Dirty Jigs one for sure. Magnum stand-up head, 3/4 ounce with a 5/0 hook. If you're fishing a big worm, like a mag shaky head, fishing it on big line, a 7.4 heavy or a 7.6 heavy rod, depending on, you know, what size line I'm using or whatever, but I like the 5/0 hook. It just has a bigger bite. They make them like in every size, like all the way down to an 1/8 maybe, or a 1/4 or something, with different size hooks too. But the 3/4 ounce with the 5/0 hook is definitely my favorite. It's got a flat eye, and the hookup ratio is really, really good with that EWG bend hook versus this stand-up head, like a straight, I guess you call it a straight shank hook. I'm not really sure what the angle is, but that's what it kind of goes by. But I guess that's a 90 degree. Yeah, that's a 90 degree, and this is a 65, 45, something, 65, 90 degree. Anyhow, you can see the difference in the hooks. I like this one better. So just like I said, tie a Palomar knot on everything. A lot of people say don't tie a Palomar knot if you set the hook hard, or if you are going to be setting the hook hard, but I swing as hard as I can possibly swing every single time with this big worm, because you've got so much line out and you got to drive that hook home. I mean, I swing on them, and I've never broke my line at the knot. Because of the knot, I've never broke off on a hook set on this stand-up head, or even on a football jig. I cannot remember a time. Now you'll break off, but it's because you're dragging this thing through shells, so it nicks your line, and sometimes you'll feel it, and your line will be nicked, 18, 20 inches all the way up your line. That has broke before, and when you get it back, I can feel, all right, that's definitely why it broke off, but not that I can remember have I broke off at the knot. So anyhow, little quick tip. Also, I don't know if I can say this or not, but Reaction Innovations may or may not be coming out with hands and start filming with them, but you cannot go wrong. I work for Reaction Innovations. I do social media for them, and I'm not afraid to say, and they wouldn't be mad at me for saying, that a Zoom Magnum trick worm is a bad freaking worm, because everybody knows that Zoom trick worm is a bad worm. Now, there's other really, really good worms. Like, I don't use a regular trick worm, Zoom trick worm much. I mean, I still use it, but the flirt, I wish Reaction would make a Magnum flirt. I need to tell them to get on that, because their flirt worm, like the Reaction flirt worm, is as good, if not better, than the Zoom trick worm. And the reason I love it is because it gets so slender in the back, and that tail, I don't know if you can really tell in the video, that tail's got kind of a cool little, I don't know, diamondy something on the end of it. And it has a ton of action. That's on a shaky head. This is just a regular, it's not a Magnum or anything, but I wish they would make that in a Magnum, because I would definitely use it. But anyhow, I use Reaction stuff, obviously, a lot, but Zoom trick worm, Magnum trick worm, and Old Monster, it's just hard to beat. I mean, you can't hide it. Anyhow, back to the action. All the foot, oh, I got a bite. Oh, he just crushed it too. God, he hit it so hard and swam right to me. Like, my line was just gone. I couldn't feel the bait at all. You get him, brother bear.
I had one on just then.
Did you?
Yeah.
What happened to him? Get.
We're out there. Oh, I just hit one.
He was sponsored by. You know when you need to put new line on your reel, but you're way too lazy? Check that out. That's not what you want. You can see how crinkly my line is. My line looks like a Jack's French fry right now. This line has been on this reel probably since March. So I need to get that fixed. Got him. Big one?
It looks big.
I just love that bite. I love it when they hit it, don't, and then your line just goes slow. Oh, I got one dragging me way upriver. Ah, fucking put it. God dang it, dude. I love that. Boom, and then you can't feel anything.
And you just feel it and you're like reeling it in. And you're like,
God, dog. Look how many's down there. God, I got one. God, that one feels big, Hannah. It's a giant. It's a giant. I need the net. It's close to the boat. It's big. Oh, it ain't either. Oh. I mean, it's still like a 4-pounder, but 3-pounder.
what do you think, Coco?
That's a 4-pounder.
Golly, you had me scared.
I had myself scared. My freaking heart's beating out of control right now. I mean, I ain't gonna sit up. I ain't gonna sit here and act like that ain't a good one. I thought that was a giant. I mean, it's a good one for sure, but I thought it was a stud muffin. I don't know why I fought so hard. By the way, one thing y'all are gonna notice, I say biggin a lot. Like, I just set the hook, say biggin, 2-pounder. Biggin, how it ain't even fish, it's a stick. But that's a pretty good one. Turn her loose. I threw out there and I was like, and my line was falling, and like it was just falling. I was moving on the trolling motor, and it went boom while it was falling.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I never dragged it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was a giant. I mean, I really thought it was a giant.
I know you did.
Scared me. So I thought it was like a freak. Like I thought it was really that big. This is a big one. This is a big one.
Is it though?
But really, are we eating though?
I mean, is it really big?
Dude, they're fighting so freaking hard.
Yeah, I know. Every fish I've caught, it felt so big.
Coco, please go away. I mean, I'm not gonna act like that's a bad one. That's a 3-pounder.
Go. Got her.
God.
Well, next time you say big and I ain't picking up the thing yet.
Jesus. I cry wolf a lot.
Yep.
I mean, I ain't gonna act like I don't. I got another one.
I'm right here.
Oh, that is a big one. God, that's a big one. Oh, no. There's a good one. There's a 4-pounder. There's a chunk. Look at this camera. Hey, YouTube. Got you a little surprise. Biggin. Pegged on that hook. Look at that. That's textbook. That's a biggin right there. 4-pounder. Skinny as crap though. Had them raid eyes. Old mag trick worm. Oh, biggin. Time. Whoa. To do the honors. God, I've caught so many fish.
So
I know, but like I'm picking them up. Well, that was pretty awesome. Me and Hannah only had a little bit of time to come out here before we head off to dinner tonight, and literally the GoPros ran for an hour and a half. 90 minutes, we probably caught 15, 20, probably not 20, probably 15 fish.
15.
Every single fish, but maybe I caught 2 whiteys, and Hannah caught 1 or 2 largemouth on a 10XD. Everything else came on dirty jigs stand-up head, 3/4 ounce, 5/0 hook, green pumpkin, and a zoom mag trick worm. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Lake Guntersville is just the fact that you can come out, if you only had a little bit of time, you can come out and fish for a little bit, catch a bunch of fish really quickly, and then head back to the house. Especially we live close enough to be able to do that, which is super awesome. Another really cool thing about Guntersville that I wanted to talk about in the last video, the Wounded Warriors video, but I didn't have time to talk about it, was the fact that we fished in 30 foot of water on that video, and we fished in 2 foot of water, well, less than 2 foot of water actually, on the same video. Like, at this lake, it's so awesome because they're everywhere. Like, if you like fishing the grass, you can go fish the grass. If you like fishing down deep, you can go fish deep. If you like fishing down riprap, hey, we got miles and miles of riprap. Bridges, they're always on bridges. If you like skipping docks, always on docks. If you like fishing marinas, we got about 6 or 7 marinas. And literally every single thing here has fish on it. Every creek I can think of except maybe one short creek inside the bridge at Short Creek. I don't really know. Maybe they catch them in there. I've never fished in there ever, but literally everywhere on this lake's got fish. It's so much fun. Tomorrow I'm going to go out and throw a, well, it'll be tomorrow for me. It won't be tomorrow for y'all. I've got a bunch of skinny dippers. Got a bunch of skinny dippers, regular size. There's an old pack of skinny dippers, white trash. Got Lime Ice, Floribama, Dirty Sanchez, Pearl Blue Shad, Guntersville Shad. I'm gonna go fish with these tomorrow. It'll be my next video after this one, but I love fishing a skinny dipper on a belly weighted hook. They're biting in the grass right now too. So I'm gonna put down my ledge fishing stuff for a little bit and go fish in the grass, spend a day just winding that swim bait through them and see if we can catch some big grass fish. I haven't done that in a while. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support recently. I love doing this. You know, it's slow and steady. Growing this YouTube channel is really slow, but I literally love it, and I appreciate all the comments, all the feedback that I'm getting from it. It's mostly good, but regardless of how the feedback is, I just enjoy. I'm not doing it to, you know, I guess you are doing it to impress people, but I just enjoy fishing. I literally love fishing. I know that a lot of you do too, and so I get to fish a lot, and I wanted to make videos and share my experiences on the water, my tips, whatever I've got that I feel like could help somebody else. I don't mind sharing it. So anyhow, go subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys on the next one. Throw in a skinny dipper. Also, if you want to see the last video, which is the Wounded Warriors video, click right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click right here. See you guys later.